Lil Mo motherfucking Films, nigga.
What's up? I'm Lil Mo Films. We in Chattanooga, Tennessee. As you can see behind me, we got the Walnut Street Bridge. And a long time ago, it was a man by the name of Ed Johnson who was hung from this bridge. And a lot of people really don't know about it, you know, or they know about it in different generations and different eras in Chattanooga, but we here to just shine a little light on it and just talk about some of the differences between Chattanooga and AKA Chat-Town. You know, for a long time there's been rumors of two Chattanoogas. If we just want to just don't sugarcoat it, there's a white part of Chattanooga and a black part of Chattanooga. You find a lot of, I would say, mental segregation going on in the city. You will see two different point of views and two different perspectives. But the goal in making this film is to show that in order for us to do bigger and better things in the future as a whole in Chattanooga, that we gotta link up together. Because we obviously, it's gonna be black people, it's gonna be white people, it's gonna be Hispanics, it's gonna be different cultures clashing in the city. So we gotta be fair about this, and we gotta think towards the future, man. You know, as a whole, equal. You know, so hopefully this film y'all about to watch, Shootanooga, can shed some light on that. You know what I mean? In this one scene, I was interviewing some people on the Walnut Street Bridge. As I left the interview, I looked down on the ground. I seen a bullet shell casing. You know what I mean? And I thought that would be an interesting intro to the video, because these people, they was walking in harm's way. And a lot of times riding right through harm's way in Chattanooga and don't even realize they're riding through harm's way in Chattanooga. I think it's a lot of that going on both ways. You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of black-owned businesses downtown in Chattanooga. Why is that? We don't know. Or we do know, we just scared to talk about it. You know what I mean? But that's what this film for. So, yeah. Y'all check the film out. Hope y'all enjoy it. Lil Mo Films, man. Chattanooga, Tennessee, AKA Chat-Town.
Chattanooga, Tennessee is one of the most beautiful places I ever lived. Whether it's sunny, even when it's rainy, you get to see the clouds intertwine with the mountains. Just a beautiful sight.
You know, Chattanooga, Tennessee, you know, the new architecture, the old antebellum houses, you know, the rivers, all the bridges, it's just kind of a staple now, and it's a beautiful city to live in.
So how y'all experience been in Chattanooga?
Good. I love Chattanooga. It's got a lot of different activities to do, and so I look forward every time I come and experience something. This is something I've never done. So.
This your first time?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I've been here for 3 years. I came into Chattanooga in 2017. I love the outdoor experience here. As you can see, we have a lot of paddleboarders out and kayakers. I'm a whitewater kayaker, but with L2 outside, we can take people out of the water. We have all sorts of equipment for people to rent. L2 outside, we all take care of furnishing all of the gear you need, and we launch you into the water for however long you want to pay for. And it's a really nice experience. You get to enjoy the island, the little pier. You get to explore the bluffs and everything around the section of the Tennessee River that we have to offer.
I was like, I didn't even know we had this going on here.
Yeah.
So do you feel like does y'all need a link or something for better marketing and promotion, like to the hood or to?
I think that would be.
You know what
really
I mean? Like, are y'all marketing it? Cause I never heard of it.
I don't know what we're doing. I think so. Our owners kind of have their own situation that they market towards. That's a good idea.
But I'm saying though, like that's what we gotta do. We gotta break down. You know, each one teach one. You know, we might can bring y'all to the hood and show y'all some stuff, and y'all can show us some stuff.
I think also like there's this misconception that certain ethnicities have difficulty swimming, or that they just didn't have the access to it. And I think like getting involved with not TVA. What's the oh goodness, can't think of the name. You can get swim lessons.
Oh, YMCA.
YMCA.
Yeah. So what's the age limit on what y'all do?
Everyone has to have their own. They have to be 13 or older to
13 or older.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, man. I've visited here a bunch. I like it here a lot. I love being able to walk around like this. This bridge right here in particular is a great place to go for a walk. That's what I'm out here doing this afternoon, just chilling out on the bridge, and going to walk over to the North Shore and probably walk back later on. But I love it. It's a great place to be.
Nigga, this Lil Mo, nigga. This Lil Mo, nigga. Chat time in these streets, nigga. We finna show y'all niggas how we do it in chat, nigga. We put on, nigga. We fuck with everybody, nigga.
Are investigating a deadly shooting, and investigators believe the 18-year-old victim was a targeted victim. Chattanooga police spokesman Nathan Hartwig says that Eric Llewellyn was found shot and killed around 2:30 this morning.
Investigators are searching for the person who shot an 8th grade boy to death at his Chattanooga home. Police and neighbors say 13-year-old DeAndre Southers wasn't the intended target, but he was the latest victim in an ongoing retaliation between two rival gangs, the Athens Park Bloods and the Mountain Hunter Bloods. A woman was shot to death in Chattanooga on Sunday morning. Hundreds of people gathered in Alton Park to remember a woman they said was one of the most beloved residents of Emma Wheeler Homes. Around 3 p.m., 23-year-old Charles Jones died on the way to the hospital after he was shot on Fagan Street. He was shot in the wrist and the lower abdomen. Police are looking for 3 to 5 men who left on foot after the shooting.
Hey, one word to describe Chattanooga.
Treacherous? Choke a nigga. Blood gang, niggas. That's what it is. Nigga, first 40. Chat like real, man. I don't know what them niggas doing in these other cities, you hear me? But this city right here, get your motherfucking top on loose, you hear me? Like a coke bottle. You hear me? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we just shoot a little video right quick. I gotta go. Oh, my bad. Hold on.
We gotta move. All right. Still recording,
man, you still got them folks on camera, man. Them folks just come and take over this beat, boy. That's what's going on, nigga. Chattanooga. The Chattanooga's trying to forward the South.
We just trying to make it out, man. You hear me?
Say it again.
We just trying to make it out, man. R.I.P. the dead and the gone. Never forgotten. We love you.
Man, them goose that just ran us, that called the police, ran us from down there while we shooting a video, while the clans had a rally, but they run us off.
We're trying to make it out of this shit, man. We ain't trying to make it in, we're trying to make it out.
Why they call this motherfucker Shootanooga, man?
Oh, man. Good. Nigga get that motherfucking shit. Hey, nigga get that shit split right here. You ain't got that heat on you. Yeah, go down. This Shootanooga for real, man. Real goon of the shitty nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kelly. What's going on?
Tell them why they call this motherfucker Shootanooga.
Nigga get shot every day, please. Nigga get shot, they got kids out here 15 years old shooting for mamas, man. These folks ain't playing, put a pistol in a young nigga hand, he gonna shoot something about that green.
You know, I got that show here about on the news, man. Oh, shit, pop shit, man. West side, man, 126 shit.
Hold on. Tell these niggas how it is being a young nigga growing up in these chat streets. Won't fuck with you. Tell them about your life, bro. Like you got a war wound right here. Hey, this Lil Mo coming live. Tell them.
Yeah, this shit real out here, man. Real shit.
Niggas dying every day out here in this bitch, man. This shit ratchet, man. We call it goon attack, man.
Say what, bro?
Man.
Say what?
I nigga been there, done that shit, man.
Yeah, we out here, man.
What happened right there? What happened right there, bro?
Oh, I got shot 2 times, man, in the back.
Yeah,
in the back?
Yeah.
How old you is, bro?
22, nigga out here, nigga thugging, nigga.
Nigga out here thugging every day. West side, this is what we doing, man. You hear me? Grove Street, GGA, man. 1200 block, man. Put on for this shit, man. Call it chill cook, man. Put on for this shit, man. 21 years in the making of this shit, man. That's all I know, man.
Yeah, I got my
This little man, the Taliban, goddamn. Hey, you feel me? I'm Taliban, man, because I have a bomb on a nigga. You gotta be ready to bomb on a nigga in your chest, because this shit ain't no motherfucking joke around here. We capping every day. And I'm choke chasing because I'm out here to get this motherfucking paper. I'm chasing every day. 165. Check time, nigga.
Hello, y'all.
Good chocolate, my gas strong. A1, when the line long.
Put it back, man.
So what? Start the back. All right.
Start it back, dog.
Oh,
shit. Dang.
Who swung on you? I come over with no problem. Y'all going around the corner then, man.
Chill out, man. Cool out, man.
We finna be big around here. Y'all fighting shit, bro.
Come on, man. Just calm down, man.
That's fucked up.
Shit, it's all good. That shit don't stop shit, man. Let's go, man.
They ain't finna stop nothing. Come on. Damn, they done fucked the lightning up a little bit. They should've got some views right now.
Hey, bro. You know you got it.
Come on, y'all.
Hey, man, chill out, man. This is the wrong time for that shit, man. For real.
Shooting going on.
You feel me?
Yeah. That's what everybody mindset on, you feel me? Niggas ain't trying to fight no more.
So shit, I just seen y'all young niggas fighting, so some niggas still fighting.
Man, always fighting, bro.
That's a fact.
When a nigga steal you out of nowhere, that's
because I like that though. Cause get what? I came up on the fighting shit. You feel me? Niggas, when I ain't started pulling a pistol till I got a little older. You feel me? But niggas was jacking at first, and then that shit was over with. You might jack. Every time you see the nigga, you might jack. But niggas wasn't dead though, you feel me?
See, like,
you know what I'm saying?
See, hold on, let me. It's too many people. I trying to fight.
If I had a bulletproof vest, I'd jack a nigga.
Man, our fights go viral, nigga.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Shit, the game just done changed. That's all it is.
Yo,
that's what it is. That's what it is. Social media. Let's get a social media.
What it do was that there was a fight. Why y'all do that shit on my verse?
My verse. Yeah.
That's the only reason. If you would have said, let's go get our one, we could have shot our one. Ain't nobody fucking scared to fight.
What's up with the nigga?
That was up with him. He got mad. I told his ass I don't fuck with him because of a past situation. He stole my homie. And all of us together. So we was all together. He stole my homie and they hopped on his head for that because he knew he was wrong. We all shook hands after that. We supposed to be cool then. We weren't even cool. We just squashed it. Oh, it's respect. I knew I was wrong. You feel me? I should never did it. Boom, it's over with. So he telling people we ganked him like we just on some fuck shit. And we didn't even want fuck shit. So,
Oh, you got a brother out here.
this is my little brother. Look. These are my brothers. I know all these people who grew up together. So, of course,
where set y'all niggas from? Fuck all that.
We from Conway.
I'm just from the east
We grew
side.
up together. They're my brother. All these my brothers. This stuff was dude. I fuck with brother. I fuck with brother.
AJ, my brother.
Nah, but look. So, I asked him, can you tell everybody, you feel me, that we ain't gango, it wasn't like that. Tell them that you was wrong, that you were actually wrong. That's why we hopped on your ass. You feel me? He didn't want to do that, so I said, it's fuck you. I don't want to hear nothing else. He said, all right, I don't want to hear shit you got to say. Tell me why we come over here. He walked up to me in my face like, you feel me? Like, I'm like, fool, what you walking up on me? I'm cooling on the gate. Like, you feel me? Just cooling. So I'm like, bro, I told you what it was, just fuck you. You ain't want to tell people what it really was. You ain't want to tell them you was wrong, you feel me? So don't say shit else to me. Then nigga get in this feeling about some shit and steal me. What the fuck kind of shit is that? I respect Corey Dad. I don't never come up here with no problem. Like, you feel me? And if you don't want me to come up here, I'm cool with that, cause you feel me, it's been situations I've been up here. But you feel me, I don't even come up here with no problem. I respect everybody, fool. on God, I don't come up here disrespecting none of that. We supposed to feel me? When they was finna get the jacket in the studio, we was the one stopping there and told them to go outside and get their one. But instead, he want to steal my homie while we walking out the studio. What kind of lame ass shit is that? Like, you feel me? It's just that. Like, he want to be on some lame ass shit.
Why y'all do that shit on my verse? Why y'all ain't do that shit on the chorus?
It wasn't playing. I'm
on the chorus, man.
I'm waiting on chord, fool. Like, you feel me? What you come over here like? I ain't.
Shit, man, y'all. I guess y'all did what y'all had to do. Y'all had to respect.
Y'all need to face shit that done happened in front of, like on the day-to-day. And boy, you better pay your way. If not, then better stay away. And GIP Laduna Mac, I swear you in a better play, for real. Young black man born with 2 stripes. They ready to give you a number or hit you with something gonna take your life. And I can't wait till the day is vice versa and that black is really white. And we've been screaming Black Lives Matter before we're doing the
Catch it back here, man. So some people be calling this motherfucker Shootanooga, man. Why they call that bitch Shootanooga, man?
Going down this motherfucker.
Nigga ain't gonna get it right across the street from the project. So like, it's just real right here. Though, but I fuck with these chats. You gotta really watch who you fucking with. These late, you know what I'm saying?
Shootanooga, Chattanooga, yeah, it's going all the way on. You feel me?
They sleep on us. They sleep on tech.
Man, shit, I love it. Shit, I love it. You hear me? I love my city. Real with you. Keep it on me, yeah.
Wake up, come together, bro. So that's why they call making this music, man.
That way. That's why they call it Shootanooga. Yeah, that way. Real, man.
Say that again.
Shit, it's up that way. Shit, I call them up Shootanooga though, straight up. You know what I mean? Shit. Hey, it's up.
It's up.
You hear me?
This shit, it's like that because that's how these white folks want it to be, bro. You feel me? But if we stick together, we can overcome that, bro. That's why Black Lives Matter. That's the big picture. Right. You know what I'm saying? So this brother, this brother got some good music, man. So I'm telling y'all, man, support that brother, man. Support your city, man. Support your home city, bro. You feel me? Chattanooga, you from Chattanooga, bro. Support that shit, bro. We always supporting out of town, bro. Support your hometown, bro.
Yeah, man. Chat town shit, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Chattanooga, Tennessee, man. I've been everywhere across the globe. Motherfucker might be in Mississippi and see me on that motherfucker. I've been there, been all the way across the world, straight up, man. Shout out to the goddamn Boost and them.
We was just walking, and Miles happened to see this. And this right here, in the midst of the good community.
So I'm traveling back from Mexico. I'm in the Dallas airport and I'm headed back to Nashville, and I pick up a magazine, and the article that was in the magazine had Chattanooga, my hometown, listed as #2 on a top 10 list of best up-and-coming cities in America. But I was really impressed, and the article was talking about the outdoor scene and technology that we have in Chattanooga. It just really made me proud to see that article. And a couple weeks later, I saw another article that really shocked me, which was that Chattanooga was also on a top 10 list of the most dangerous cities in America. How can the same city be on these 2 different lists? And honestly, to me, that is the tangible proof of the disconnect between the 2 sides of Chattanooga, the 2 communities of Chattanooga, which is the prosperous community and the struggling community. And so when you see that the struggling communities in Chattanooga have such significant struggles that it's making a top 10 list of what is going on in our nation, compared to the prosperity in the same city that is making another top 10 list, drawing people in, it just, to me, is common sense that those 2 worlds are gonna meet each other. And if we want to come together as a community, we're gonna have to understand that both of those perspectives need to be acknowledged. As somebody that has always really valued diversity and understood the value that a diverse environment brings to everyone that is a part of that environment, it has been a mission to me to educate my friends and family in the communities that see the experience of Chattanooga through the prosperous lens, that they need to also acknowledge the struggle that is going on in our same community. And not only do they need to acknowledge it, they need to be willing to do something to contribute to the solution. And right now the solution is coming together and having the conversations that are difficult to have. That's why I was really motivated when I started my company called the Collective Compass. I wanted the name Collective Compass to represent my philosophy that as a globe, as a country, as a community, as humanity, we can all come together and learn how to solve these problems that are not separate from each other just because we live in our own little bubbles, and that these bubbles meet each other, and there's evidence of that. And I feel like this film is gonna really show you guys from a local perspective what that actually looks like, so that we can move forward.
We from Chattanooga, so of course we know people that know people, but me personally, I mean, probably the biggest loss, I mean, besides my family members and stuff like that, but as far as like gun violence, is my boy Trail and my boy Terrence Etchison, man. I mean, that was like one of the childhood friends. Like, we came up together like since like 2nd or 3rd grade, Woodmore. You know what I mean? He was from Woodville and I was from Woodmore area, you know what I mean? So that kind of hit me hard.
How old was he when he got killed? When they got killed?
Man, I was in prison, so this had to be like 08, 09.
How that make you feel when you got that news?
I ain't know how to feel, you know what I mean?
Another homicide overnight highlights what's become a very violent summer in the scenic city. Good evening, I'm Kim Chapman.
And I'm Calvin Sneed. Now this map shows all of the homicides that have happened this summer. Our News Channel 9 archives show more than half of the murders that have happened this year took place in June and July. That's right. Hannah Lawrence joins us now live with information about the latest person killed. Hannah.
Kim and Calvin, somehow after a shooting last night on Wilcox Boulevard, police say that the victim plowed his car into this dry cleaner's. You can see that it's been boarded up. The victim was taken to the hospital, but later died.
Police say the man inside this car that crashed here died. According to officers, it was the second time Desmond Clay had been targeted. He was also shot in April of last year.
It hurts. I hope anytime somebody get killed.
We talked to one woman shortly after she learned about Clay's murder. She lives close to where he crashed last night and asked that we protect her identity.
Well, I stay at 108 gangbangers.
According to News Channel 9 archives, there have been 23 homicides so far this year. 12 of those happened in the months of June and July. That's more than half.
Yeah, so like niggas just ran in on you, try to get you.
Man, I was at the crap game over my cousin's house, man. They goddamn, I'm getting ready to walk up out there, bitch. You know how you talk. I've been there about 3-4 hours, nigga. We going hard, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there about 3-4 hours.
So do you feel like a nigga kind of called some niggas on y'all because you, y'all
that's what it always is. That's what it always is. You feel what I'm saying? But we ain't finna get into all that. But yeah, man, I came out, man, nigga had a gun in my motherfucking face. I'm gonna send you the video so you can show that bitch.
Yeah.
If you want to, you feel me? That shit real caught on camera, nigga, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit, that nigga tried to goddamn shoot me in my face, man. You feel what I'm saying? I just grabbed the motherfucking gun on and punched his ass, you feel me? Then this other homeboy shot at me. I thought I got shot in the face, you know what I'm saying? I hit the ground, nigga, I realized I wasn't dead, I hopped up, you feel what I'm saying? shit, I ain't gonna get into it. You go watch the video. Real I ain't talk. finna talk about anything else, but you go watch the video. Real talk. Real.
Damn, that shit real. So that shit real in the chat.
Yeah, man, this shit going down, man.
Hello everyone, I'm David Begnaud. Thank you for joining us on CBSN. One day after 4 Marines were killed in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we're getting a new look at the police response immediately following the shootings. We have raw cell phone video taken just minutes after Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz opened fire on 2 military recruiting centers. So you can hear the bursts of gunfire as officers are engaged in an all-out gun battle with a 24-year-old gunman. And you see there to the right of your screen that police vehicle that is backing up. It appears to be officers actually using the vehicle to shield them as they back away from what is presumably the scene. You have to imagine you pull up to this area, unless you're the officer who's looking at the gunman, other responding officers may not know quite where the gunfire is coming from. So there again, a police unit backing up, shielding these officers as they reverse, presumably to get to some kind of safety. Again, incredible video just coming in to the CBSN News.
How we do it in Chattanooga? Yeah, baby. That's how we do it in Chattanooga. Get to 30th Street. I'm going to get my 30th.
Go right up in on that block though, man. When y'all niggas was hoop dreaming, I was on the block, nigga. Y'all niggas better know this shit, man. I'm gonna go through this little bit. It's 16 months, ain't nothing. Check out the brightness though. Real bright.
Time go down. They shut the party down. My homeboy Mark up in here. What it do? Cracking, cuss, Lucci. Right in this bitch, man. You see us, man? Up in this bitch. We ain't just living this shit, we doing this shit, man. Shut this shit down. I'm really bent over right there, man. Little more motherfucking films, nigga.
What it do, world? Lil Mo Films checking in, man. Hey, look. All this protesting going on around the world, man, I must say, man, this is what unity look like, man. I'm talking about coast to coast, state to state, city to city, man. People is protesting, man, for George, man. George Floyd, man. Hey, I don't know what God put on you, man, but whatever he put on you, just you leaving, man, you still here with everybody, dog. Like, you damn near done changed the world. You know what I mean? They protesting all over the world. So, of course, I had to get out here in the action in my city and be active, you know what I'm saying? Cause, you know, can't be talking about this black movement and these black people and trying to unify and all that and not be about it. So I had to get out there in it myself. And I, you know what I'm saying, it helped me a lot, man. Like, just to see everybody on the same page, man. Black, white people, Latinos, everybody out here putting it together, man. They said you can't come together, man, but from what I seen last night, man, it looked like everybody was on the same page. When nobody against nobody, everybody was rocking together, man. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I want to say, man, a lot of people say, well, y'all just marching and y'all ain't doing nothing and this and that. Yeah, but if everybody took that approach, look, everybody around the world is protesting right now. You feel me? But it all started with that one protest. So as a unit, everybody protesting, you feel me? Everything clicking together. You know what I'm saying? So, but if everybody was like, well, I ain't finna get out there and march, or I ain't finna get out there and do this, you know, it might not have the same effect. by everybody in the world starting to do it, you gotta pay attention to it. And now it's time to figure out what's the solution to this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, we making the noise, we got their attention. Now we got to ask for some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we got to not just ask, we got to take it and demand it. You feel what I'm saying? So once we figure that shit out, you know what I'm saying, to get all that shit together, then we can make some more moves. You feel me? It's time to, hey man, it's time, the world changing, man. Shit finna change. We finna go to another level, dog. You know what I'm saying? Shit changing. Whether you want to or not. Everything finna be different. You know how when your grandmama little, she said, I remember when it was like this. That's how it's finna get. Shit finna change and we gonna remember how it used to be. Because we finna go on a whole nother wave now together. So yeah, y'all check this footage out though, man. So hit that subscribe button, Lil Mo motherfucking Films. And y'all share this shit, get in the comments, like it, man. Put some good energy out there in the world, man. Yeah, but yeah, y'all check this footage out. Bam, peace, Lil Mo Films.
No justice, no peace, no racist ass police. Lil Mo Films, Chattown takeover. We in these streets, bitch. Yes, sir.
Just trying to motivate. I'm just trying to motivate these young rappers. I'm just trying to motivate these young boozers to be like, man, Boosie made it, I can make it. You know what I'm saying? Right now it ain't just for the shit on people, cause I know a lot of this ain't fucking me, know it ain't for that, it's for to motivate people to be rappers.
I'm just trying to make, let's make it. I'm just trying to make, let's get it. We just trying to make, go get it. We just trying to make it. Get the money. I'm just trying to make, let's make it. I'm just trying to make, let's go. We just trying to make, let's get it. We just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make, let's go. I'm just trying to make, let's get it. We just trying to make, let's go. We just trying to make it, make it. I'm just trying to make, let's go. I'm just trying to make it, make it. We just trying to make it. We just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it. She just trying to make it. Sliding down that pole. Baby girl, she shaking. She just trying to make it. Why you think she shaking? Gotta get the money. Gotta feed them babies. Young niggas standing over the stove, whipping crazy. Whipping up them babies. Whipping up them babies. Why you think he whipping? He just trying to make it. Trying to dodge 12. They just wanna take it. Young nigga pulled a kick though, trying to make it. Stole a flat screen, now he trying to make it. Sold it for 200, now he got them J's. He just trying to make it, he just wanna be paid. Bust a bell down, did it into a grave. Ain't lying, nigga, Lil Mo, he been getting paid. I was trying to make it, I was trying to make it. These niggas keep on hating, why you keep on faking? I'm just trying to make it, I'm just trying to make it. We just trying to make it, we just trying to make it. Get the money, just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it, go. We just trying to make it, get it. We just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it, go. I'm just trying to make it, get it. We just trying to make it, go. We just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it, go. I'm just trying to make it. We just trying to make it. We just trying to make it. He working 9 to 5. He just trying to make it. He used to sell dope. Now he trying to make it. Gotta feed them babies. Gotta feed them babies. Gotta get the money. He just trying to make it. She boosting out the stove. She stealing all them clothes. She just trying to make it. She just trying to make it. I know you're hating on her, but she just trying to make it. I know you don't understand it, but baby trying to make it. Real hustler know if you want a right Range Rover, gotta stay down, gotta be a soldier. Chillin' with Model Pimp in New Orleans on Magnolia. Salute Sky View, them niggas summer soldiers. I'm just trying to make it, I'm just trying to make it. We just trying to make it, we just trying to make it. Get the money, just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it, go. We just trying to make it, get it. We just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it, go. I'm just trying to make it, get it. We just trying to make it, go. We just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it, go.
made. Martin Luther King, he made. Young Jeezy, he made. T.I., Gucci Mane. Lil Boosie. These niggas making it, man. If these niggas can make it, you can make it. I'm gon' make it. Chattown, we gon' make it. Let's get this money, nigga. It's our time, nigga. Let's go. Y'all niggas got us fucked up. Let's get the money, Chattown. Let's get it.
There's some new shit. They don't like this, bro. We together, bro. They don't want us to be together.
We brought this shit to the west side, man.
They want us to be fighting, killing each other and shit. Nah, we ain't on that.
Your shit.
Yeah,
we don't see white and black
really get off and take one out. We take two in your
They don't see white and blacks come together.
Shit, bro. We out here, bro. Everybody tired of being fucked up, not just us. Yeah, this shit serious. This shit serious.
Talk your shit.
We gonna make y'all respect this shit or check it, bro. That's what we on right now. Yes, sir.
Lil Mo motherfucking Films.
So yeah, man. I don't know if y'all know, but it's been a lot of talk about gun violence and gun stuff in the world right now. But where I come from, Chattanooga, Tennessee, we got a nickname called Shootanooga. You know what I mean? So I think it's a very short comparing and contrasting on two different worlds in Chattanooga. We got Chattanooga and then we got Chattown. You feel me? So right now I'm finna introduce you to one of my boys. He will be from where you consider Chattanooga. You know what I mean? And I want to show you the difference in the thought process on the way they carry guns and the way they handle guns where he come from. You know what I mean? This should be interesting. What's up, guy?
What's up, dog?
All right.
Okay,
See you packing, look at you. You packing, not lacking, I always look at you. I see you.
What's this you got
right there, boy?
That's a Glock 40.
Ooh, that's
See, I
something.
got night sights on it.
Damn, that's the beam, ain't it?
So if you take that in the dark, it glows just like it is even in the daytime.
Boy, that's
actually what most police officers carry with them. See, I got hollow points in it, which they expand on impact.
Boy, that's some predator shit right there.
Oh, yes, and it's loud. It definitely is.
Shit.
This stuff right here.
Boy, look at you. God damn. Y'all check this shit out.
This is your typical civilian style AR-15, which is not an assault rifle, even though that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the mag's empty, they are. You wanna hold it, man?
Hell yeah.
Let me turn the beam on for
You
you.
probably should go inside though, man, cause somebody be done called the police on us. I'm black, man, so I'm paranoid, you feel me? White people don't care about
These guns is registered to me.
I got
If
you.
they won't call the police, man, then I'll just put their hands in.
Let me shoot. Ooh, you can't mess with this.
Let me show you this now.
God damn. Oh, the color change. Green, red.
Yep. I actually just got this recently, and that has a shell in it.
I'm good, boy. You see that?
Good job, bro.
Quick on my toes, did you catch that? You see how that roll? Come on now. We ain't playing no games.
Yeah, this takes a 7.62 by 39. Those take a 5.56 or 2.23. Basically the same exact thing, just differences I think is the gunpowder. I told myself as a kid, like, I'm gonna strap up one day. And not for the wrong reasons, like, because having guns like these, yes, certain people, I'll agree, they don't need to have them. Like, certain people just ain't mature enough to have them.
Yeah, but how can you, but that's what I'm saying.
People getting access to them, well, if you saw as many guns as I've seen in my lifetime, you almost could ask yourself, is there more guns in this world than there is people? Because, like, this place, even though I'm not going to say the name of it, it has 6 guns for every civilian that lives in Chattanooga if they needed to arm everyone in Chattanooga, including children. I ain't exaggerating that, bro.
Yeah.
I've done the math myself. It's really the gun business in America today it's almost like people selling candy to one another. Like, okay, say that Willy Wonka owned a gun factory instead of a chocolate factory. Yeah, that one right there is really my #1 carry gun. Glock 40, 22, full size.
So tell us about what do you have to do to get, like, to
purchase these?
You have a license and all.
You can go into well, I do got a handgun carry permit.
So a carry permit's one thing, but then you could just have it, you just don't get to carry it. Okay.
Carrying it.
You just show that here.
Carrying it is like when you carry one, depending on what state you live in, will really determine like how the law looks at it. Like, alright, in let's say California, a civilian is not allowed to have something like this. Because that's like, yeah, in the state of California, guns that can hold this many bullets are outlawed by civilians. Only cops are allowed to have them. And like AR-15s are not allowed to have them. New York City, that's another one. Like, really when it comes to the majority of gun violence, that doesn't just happen in America, but mainly particularly in the South, in my opinion. We got the loosest gun laws down here. Like, there's more of them down here than anywhere else in the United States. Guns can save your life. It can save one of your family members' lives. Because my mom didn't have a gun. She just don't believe in them. Me, my beliefs are, and it always has been this way since I was a kid, be a man and do what you gotta do. You may not ask to end up in these situations. You can't make your family members' choices for them. But just basically know where you stand with God. And know that if you ever have to make a choice in defending yourself or someone you love and care about, basically, you know, you just pray before you make that choice. That was what I did.
So we finna get deep with this shit. You know, I got to ask you the real shit. Hold on, I'm finna fire this blunt up.
Please do, because I need that right now.
Yeah, we about to get deep with this.
And they say in the black community, that's what causes most gun violence. Well, shit like, why are you just paying attention to the black community on this topic? Like, that's what I want to tell the media so often. And it's like, they don't want to pay attention to white people dying from gun violence until it's a mass shooting, like what happened in Las Vegas in 2017, or what happened this past year in Walmart, you know, in El Paso. So it's like, that's when, like, last year, as a matter of fact, around this particular time last year, there was a girl, I'm not going to say her name because I don't know her or any of her family members, but this particular girl, she was the same age as me. She moved from California to Atlanta. I wake up one morning, just an average day, getting ready to go to work, and I see that this girl, beautiful girl who was inspiring to be a model, just driving to work, somebody shot her in the neck. And, well, of course, it caused her to crash her car into head-on coming traffic. It was a drive-by shooting, so, like, the shooter got away. They never caught who did it, but, you know, this girl, when you saw her face on the news, me in particular, I can't speak for anyone else, but when I saw her face on the news, saw how beautiful she was, knew that she was the same age as me, knew that she had a family that was no longer going to be able to see her, tell them that they loved her, kiss her, and all that stuff, man. Like, so it made me really realize, and this was last year, you don't have to be living a bad life. You don't have to be out there selling drugs, doing anything wrong, doing bad shit to end up shot dead in the middle of the streets for any particular reason. Because, well, this girl didn't have to know her. You can clearly tell, you know, she wasn't out there trying to make enemies. She moved from her home, away from her family, to Atlanta just to start a modeling career. Ended up shot dead just driving to work. No one knows who did it or why it ever happened. So, I mean, like, when it comes to gun violence, even, it's mysteries of why people do it, because sometimes the police don't get to arrest the shooter. Sometimes the shooter ends up like that piece of shit from Vegas, you know, they end up taking their own life, or they end up shot dead by the police, you know, because they're shooting at them. So the reasons for why certain individuals do this shit, really, there's a whole, you can make a whole book of why people are mentally fucked up today, you know. anybody could come up with a reason for, basically just putting hatred in their heart,
So let me ask you this though: do you think it should be some sort of restriction on, like, how many guns somebody is allowed, or you know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at you, you got like a bunch of shit. You feel me? You ain't got but 2 hands. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? You got 2 hands with octopus guns. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I found that's really even more dangerous than guns, bro? Brainwashing. Like, okay, say that you're an individual that knows how to take control of people's mindsets. That's kind of what the KKK did to so many other generations of white kids. Like, say that there's a parent who is both parents are members of the KKK. They want their children to be a member of it. What do you think? That child can't run away. He can't run away from that shit. Like, so he's gonna be raised the way that his parents wanted to raise him. In my particular case, my mother just told me, don't break the law, son.
That's interesting you just said that though, because I got a philosophy on this shit. I'm gonna make it quick.
Like, a dad can't really
listen to what I'm saying.
be a dad if he ain't around,
I'm gonna put you on game what you just said. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you said your mama told you she just wants you to do what?
Obey the law.
Stop right there. She wants to say it one more time. Your mama just wanted you to do what?
Obey the law.
Pass me this picture right here behind you. Let me get this picture. I'm gonna show you something. I want you to look at this $2 bill right here. These is our laws being made right here. You feel me? I want you to look on there and tell me out loud who in the room.
What, man?
These are who made our rules. So what does that tell you who the laws and rules for?
White people.
I understand that the laws are not for me. You see what I'm saying? I understand that my people the ones getting locked up. My people the ones enslaved. My people the ones that this shit is not. So we kind of grow up to obey the rules, but don't get caught breaking them. You see what I'm saying? But because we didn't make them, we don't know the fine print. We don't know the fine print on a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And just hearing you say that, it reflected that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm we here to teach each other. You got a whole fucking
arsenal. That's what it is. It's my own
being real with you, and it might hurt your feelings, but
no, bro, it don't, man. You being real with me.
You look like the fucking Walmart dude. You feel me? To me, you fit the criteria. I would be scared as hell. I would be like, I was like,
if you didn't know me.
If I didn't know you, I would say, damn, this the type of motherfucker who would goddamn shoot the Walmart up. You see what I'm saying?
And really, you got a right to think that if you don't know me.
Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I'm adding a real conversation. I know you're gonna give me a real answer. That's what we do.
You can watch documentaries about how the South Central and Compton and the black community was affected by the crack epidemic there.
Yeah, Rick Ross.
Yeah.
He got his first load from Chattanooga.
And
you know that?
I did.
He got his car.
See, we are learning shit from one another. Yeah.
Rick Ross went to Miami, flew to Miami, bought a car, broke down in Chattanooga, Tennessee with 100 kilos in the car, and had like $800 left, and some dude sold him a car, and they drove all the way back to Vegas with it, and they came and picked the
But you see, we are actually so close to Atlanta and Miami. These are big drug hub cities, man. And it ain't like, I've always known since a childhood, when it comes to the news, like, all right, and them showing gun violence in the black community, and then them saying, it's drugs that's causing it, and I'm just like, okay, y'all, it ain't these people bringing their dope into their own community. Who the fuck are the main traffickers? Who were the dudes that really built the foundation for this fucking world? And then I did my real research on it, man, and it really, Rick Ross, that dude, I remember watching a documentary about him where he even described, he was like, when he finally got confronted by the feds, like, it's like, man, okay, y'all know who I am, but do you know who the fuck I'm working for? I'm working for y'all's bosses. I'm working for motherfuckers that work for the CIA.
This is what it looked like to my people. This is what it looked like it's happening. We getting little petty little shit, and they stick us with a felony, You see what I'm saying?
And it makes it what you capable
we're not
of.
allowed to get a gun. No, we're not allowed to get firepower. You feel me? We in the system where we don't even understand the laws fully. You see what I'm saying? Like you just living in a rural community in a little hood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't really understand the law, so you catch a felony by the time you're 16 easy, just walking down the street every day.
And so it's like you don't stand a chance from that point
Able to
forward.
get a gun, but then you got people
Like me.
you done shot your brother in the face. You done shot your brother in the face, but you can still you can go get all this.
Because of one charge.
Some weed. Some weed. What's legal in California?
Legal in
Colorado, Canada, everywhere. People smoking weed. Snoop Dogg smoking every day on TV, blowing in the air. You know what I'm saying? But if you get a felony on record, you don't supposed to goddamn do this shit.
Exactly. Like my brother that I shot ain't allowed to have a gun.
So what is it? What do you think this? I'm gonna speak from your perspective and tell the truth. They don't know, just let it out. Tell the truth. You hear me? Let it out. What do you see that for black people? Do you see that like I'm saying? Like it seems like it's a trap for black people. Like is that what's happening?
It's a sore subject for a lot of people, and particularly I know in the black community, man, because your people are suffering from this shit. And white people are just now starting to realize that they can fucking suffer from it too, you know. I realized that shit years ago as a child, you know, like when I developed social issues as a kid, you know, my mom wondered where that shit was coming from. It's like, well, I am going to school in East Lake. I do know what crack cocaine is. I do know what the Crips and Bloods are. Like, I've seen kids that are not of my skin color, yes, and the conditions that they're living in, Mom, and it's like, you know, and then you're bringing me back up here on the Signal Mountain, you know, like, where I'm living in the woods, you know, it's like, you know, you're sending me to two different fucking worlds right now, and, you know, it's fucking my head up in a way, because, you know, it's like, you know, it's causing me to kind of have an identity crisis, you know, like, at 10 years old, you know, my dad's not around, you know, help me work through these fucking tough times that I'm going through mentally. Like, I was, like, the first time I was encountered by the Bloods, you know, when I see them in, like, the videos that you made, man, it's like, some of them I knew, like, you know, and I didn't know their names, man, but I recognized their faces. When they did ask me, you know, like, who the fuck are you? Like, you know, I know certain white people that live in this neighborhood. You ain't one of them. Where the fuck are you from? You know? And they wanted to know, not because they're wanting to bully me. They know I'm an outsider. They know you're not from here. Like, and they see that I'm dressed differently. Like, I don't know the ghetto culture at all, man. Like, and I did ask my mom, why the fuck am I going to school in East Lake? You know? And apparently, when she was trying to get me transferred to, this is how stupid certain white people can be in the system that don't fucking know what they're doing, man. Like, they took my transcript and got my fucking name mixed up in some different paperwork with a different kid. And that was how I ended up being, like, where, you know, your son's zoned to go to this school because of this malfunction that we had through the system of our paperwork. My mom got mad as fuck at this. She actually sued the Hamilton County school system. But because this was a white woman, of course, like, my mom is white, I asked myself even, you know, what if this was a black mother? That, like, you know, it's like, you know, I know for a fact because I've seen just going to school in their community and getting to become friends with some of them and really knowing they're human beings just like me, but why the fuck are they not being given a shot at, like, okay, and then when I would ask those questions of certain older white people that I knew, the people that I'm supposed to answer to figure out this shit, well, their parents made some bad choices, probably were, you know, hooked on drugs or got into selling drugs, and I'm like, Mom, what the fuck do you see going on around you right now? Like, what are your boys getting into? Like, you know, it's like, and where's our fathers, like, basically jerking a knot in our ass if he has to, you know? No, you're not gonna fucking do that shit. You're not gonna associate with it. Like, basically, like, I had to look at it from even this perspective. How many black men are growing up in the community without their fathers giving a fuck about them, or in this case, not knowing who their father was at all. Their dad was shot and killed, or their dad's in prison. Because I had met kids in East Lake when I'm going to school there. That was their case. Where's my dad at? He's going on vacations and shit to Hawaii, going, like, he built a fucking school in Haiti after the, you know, earthquake hit there. Like, you know, it built it in honor of my brother Wes, who died from a heroin overdose. He's deceased now. Like, it was in 2012. And then 3 years later, I ended up shooting my brother. Man, I'm telling you, it's like, who the fuck can I reach out to in the white community that can relate to that shit? Not too many of them can, you know? It's like, how many motherfucking white kids do I know that have had to make them choices? Yeah, so I've met plenty of black people where it's like, shit, that's the only choice we got. This right here, that's the only fucking choice we got. So it's like, I do get your perspective on even where your people are frustrated with the streets being flooded with these. Like, so, okay, the cocaine epidemic is gone. That was why even I think certain people in the black community that didn't want to get mixed up in the drug business, but the gangs were already there, seducing their children. Like, all the gang member has to do is show a young black child the money, the fucking cars. Like, you know, I saw that shit like, damn. I'm 10 years old and I'm not from the community, but I'm seeing it myself like, holy shit. Like, how the fuck did he get that? Like, where do you get shit like that, you know?
How did he get it? You know what I'm
I learned this shit too, and for a mom to actually be telling your child, I don't want you mixed up in it because look at what comes with it. So, okay, why is the negative side there now? So I see where the life looks good and at one point, and then boom, it goes south. And then that person's gone, and then their family's burying them, and then it's a tragedy, and really it ain't no time to smile or party or be happy no more. You know, so.
Did you end up leaving East Lake School and then going somewhere else?
Yeah, like, but by the time, like, I was probably 13 years old, you know, like, and as a matter of fact, it was right when 50 Cent put out his first album, Get Rich or Die Trying, and, you know, all my friends that I was going to school with in the hood in East Lake, it was 13th Avenue, as a matter of fact, like, we should cruise by there, man. I ain't seen the place in years. Right before I left, some of my friends, like, you know, that I had made there, they gave me a bootleg copy of Get Rich or Die Trying, you know, and it's like, this dude right here, he was signed by Eminem, man, like, and I was already tuned into him because, you know, he's a white rapper, you know. So, like, you know, in a way, it's like, you know, I've been going to school in the hood for 3 fucking years now, you know, and it's like I've been introduced to the culture. I've been in fights, you know.
You're in the mix. You've been initiated. That's the only.
And it's like I didn't ask for it, but you know something. I didn't look at your people and be like, they fucked my head up. They, you know, I hate them. You know, it's like certain white people I even looked at like, so what? You're gonna be racist toward them? It's because what? You ended up getting in a fight with a black person and you lost or something, or you know, it's like I try to figure out what makes certain white people racist, even, you know, and it's like you're just a bigotist because you gotta fucking hate, you know. It's like because he's got all that money and that badass car, and he's got what, a fine ass white bitch. It's like, motherfucker, you can get that shit too. Just stop being a little bitch about it and get out there and get it. You know, it's like, because that's what I had to grow up saying. It's like, if you want this shit, you get your ass out there and you fucking get it, you know?
That's what we do. So, you know what I'm saying? Trying to stop all the racism, trying to stop all that shit. I just wanted to have a conversation with a real white boy, you feel me? And a real black boy. And we stand in front of each other like men and discuss some real shit. And let the world see.
Tell the truth, bro, I feel good. I feel relieved. I feel like my fucking, feel like the weight's been thrown off my back, bro.
That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? You just told your story. You feel me?
I started going down to city council and seeing who these people are that represent our communities and the decisions that they're making. And anytime you go into city council, they have packets where you can see what they're voting on, and then you can see how much money is attached to it. And so, Mo, I would go to a meeting and I would see a decision being made in other communities outside of our community, so outside of the West Side or outside of the Alton Park or outside of East Chat. But I'm seeing $1 million projects and things going on in East Brainerd or in Brainerd or on Signal Mountain. And so I'm just like, we all pay taxes though. So how do they get more projects than what we get in our community? How do they have more millions of dollars flowing into their community than what we have in our community? And then the other thing is that I began to look at like the budget. And so I was like, dang, the city got a budget? So, okay, now I'm beginning to understand where our tax dollars go and then how they're divided throughout various departments in our city. And so I'm seeing millions. I mean, last year we gave $75 million to the Chattanooga police. That was 52% of our operating budget. This year they're slated to get $71 million out of a $200 million budget. This is insane amount of money. And we only have 500 officers. So I did the math of if we were just going to say it was all going to salary, they would make $120-something thousand if you divided 500 between the $71 million in salary. So I want people to understand is that and then they have subcategories of how you break down the budget. So that $71 million for police, there is like $5 or $6 million that's going to go for intelligence. So training officers on how to do intel gathering on your community. What do they need that for?
How do we reach to our kids? How do we tell them, hey, stop it? You know, I understand this man killed somebody you love, and I understand they did it tragically, but you don't have to kill him to avenge his death. There's other ways we can take care of it. How do we fix that?
Well, Anthony, education is important. Education is a big important thing, and you got private school systems and you got public school systems. A lot of these young men don't have access to get into these big educational programs like Macaulay, like Baylor, places like that. So they lack education and they lack experience, they lack knowledge. You know what I mean, on certain situations. And what you have is a lot of people in power who are not front line in the community.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like they can tell me more about what's going on in Brazil than they can tell me what's going on in East Lake.
Amen.
You know, that's why we need people like you
who
from the community, for this community to know what's really going on. And some of these young men not bad. I know some of these young men, man, if they was born in certain situations like on Lookout Mountain or other situations, they'll be millionaires, man.
They'll be millionaires.
They'll be millionaires, lawyers, judges. You know, me myself, I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a child, but I had nobody in my family. I didn't know what to do. So by the time I was 10 years old, that was like out the window. You know what I mean? But you know, looking back on it, I feel like if I had been in the right situation, maybe there's something I could have done. Exactly. But that's not what I was exposed to. And I think these people who got these laws and they locking everybody up, they don't understand that these young men are only, I film out here, man. So I'm in the creases and the cracks out here. To the people who, I'm out here dealing with the young men that people have forgot about. They lost souls.
They lost souls.
You know, when I film them, to the average person, when they looking at them hold their guns up and they looking at them hold their weed up, they looking at them like, man, this is worthless. This is nothing. But the interaction that I get with them, man, they feel they got hope. When I'm putting that camera on them, they feel just as the man on News Channel 9 or something when he on camera.
Let me say this, Mo. Right now, people, I've been seeing the stream coming up. People are wondering who we're sitting with. This is one of the producers in Chattanooga, Lil Mo Films. He produces a lot of the videos, a lot of things in our community, even dealing with our youth. We have a young man who's been in the community working and helping as well. We call him Model Pimp. He's a very fine activist and hard worker when it comes to our community. So that's where we're at right now. We're just asking questions about his documentary that he has called 32, and we're trying to just find out what are things we can do to better the city of Chattanooga.
I asked you about Chattanooga. Yeah. Where you from? Yeah. And the question I asked you was, is there a hip-hop scene in Chattanooga? You remember this?
Yeah, I remember that.
And at that time, you said, nah.
Yeah.
And I said, well, who inspired you? You know, you said, well, I'm not the first, but I was like, well, who inspired you? Now, what is it like in Chattanooga?
It's definitely a hip hop scene now.
Yeah?
It's definitely a rap scene now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. I think I made a lot of people mad, like ruffle some feathers though back then.
When
but
you
it was
said
cool
that?
though, yeah. I remember that, but I feel like I don't think I made them do it, but it probably motivated them. Like, I ain't finna have this nigga talking about we ain't got no hip hop scene in Chattanooga. So like even my homies, like everybody does music now. Like not everybody, but like it's as prevalent as in any other city now. It feels like.
Yeah.
I feel like I can find a rapper on every block now, or somebody who produce or write music or something.
So then, what's the scene like? Is it, you know? So if I never been to Chattanooga and I come down there and I'm looking like for who's hot, what's the scene like down there?
For me, like when the stuff I be peeping out of the city is like either more so real raw, either really raw, and I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just all raw emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like straight, clean cut 16s.
Yeah.
These niggas some real live terrorists around here. These niggas damn near like Iraqis, nigga.
Police say a late-night shooting in Chattanooga that left a man dead was fueled by gang violence.
One person is behind bars for allegedly shooting and killing a pedestrian.
Neighbors say they heard 7 or 8 shots and then screaming.
They don't praise life no more. Life is nothing to them.
We got everybody trying to make it individually instead of as a whole.
If I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over I mean just like throwing food around, but they're telling me there's no food in here.
The trouble is the same trouble that we got right now. It's the people that run this damn town.
Chattanooga police say more than a half-dozen shootings over the past week.
Chattanooga police investigating another shooting.
Chattanooga police say the 20-year-old was shot and killed while walking with a friend.
We ain't got no bricks. We ain't got no Lamborghinis.
I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is gonna change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying?
Like my young niggas who making music, man, they putting their real life on wax. Because niggas ain't thinking that they gonna make it out the ghetto, you feel me? Out here.
Jose, I'm the type of nigga run up in the bank, no mask with an all black cake. Give me all that cake. Give me everything you say, motherfucker better do what I say before I aim this cake. Spread at your motherfucking face, show your ass how to gunpowder tape, flip the scene in the skate. Put the money in the safe plate, duck off in the whole nother state. I'm 18 right now, duck off till I turn 28. And take mad better 38. YB Jose.
Hey, listen. They coming up with different ways, man. You know, we came up with these. You know, them youngins nowadays, they coming up with these, man. But you know, that's just time changing, man. It is what it is.
It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do? Ask?
I love it. It's a great place to be.
Lil Mo motherfucking Films.